So here we have the Apollo Creed figure from Star Ace. Now, I wasn't expecting this to arrive until the Rocky figure was available to ship because I ordered them together as a bundle, but without getting into all the details, I was able to get it a little bit earlier than expected. But this figure has been out for a few months. There's already some reviews of it on YouTube, so I don't really have a whole lot to add. And this isn't really a figure that I have time to do any big length review on it. But I have more thoughts than what can really be accumulated in like a 60-minute short. So without going into all the different factors of it, I just unboxed it a little bit ago, went through the accessories and different things. So this is the deluxe version, comes with a lot of stuff, comes with all the training gear, comes with an extra head sculpt. And so it comes with a pretty good amount of accessories. The figure itself is a bit of a disappointment. It's not bad, but it's not great either. In fact, it is good compared to the rest of Star Ace's Rocky line. So if you've seen the horrendous Rocky 2 street clothes version of Rocky that came out a couple of years ago, and since then they've come out with Clubber Lang and Ivan Drago, both of those did not look very good at all. This one actually is better than all three of those, so it's a step up for Star Ace, and from what I've seen of the Rocky, it's a step in the right direction as well. So thankfully both of those are not horrendous, because those are the two most important characters, and they're the only ones that I want for my collection at this point. So again, this figure is not bad, and I'm probably just going to keep him in the Uncle Sam outfit for now, because I don't have Rocky to have him square off with. But when I do, is going to be just in full-on boxing regalia. So if you look at that head sculpt, it does resemble Carl Weathers, but it's definitely far from perfect. I think it's slightly better than the prototype, and you can see right behind him on the box art what he looked like in the prototype. But if we look a little bit closer, I mean, that's not terrible, but definitely not up to the quality that we would expect from, say, Hot Toys or Sly Stallone's shop. Now, the main reason why I wanted this deluxe, I'm not going to display it with all the stuff, like all the training gear or anything like that he comes with, but I am going to display him with this. So when Rocky shows up and I have him going up against Rocky, I'm going to have him with this head sculpt. And I think it's, I don't know, to me it seems slightly better, or it may just be because of the expression and the sweat and all that. It hides the slightly inaccurate likeness to Carl Weathers. So here, I don't know, the likeness isn't bad, I guess. It's just a really bland expression. It's not in, it doesn't match Apollo's personality from the film at all. But the likeness is decent, but I think this one definitely is more in keeping. You know, once you get past the first few seconds of the fight, when he realizes that it's not just going to be a joke. He's going to have to fight Rocky for real, and at this point he's mad because Rocky's made him look bad. This head sculpt is good for that. So neither head sculpt is bad, but it's not dead on to Carl Weathers, and the expression on the plain version is boring, so and not in keeping with the character. So I'm glad that I got this one to put on when he actually squares up against Rocky. So again, it comes with a lot of stuff that I'm not really going to use at this point. It's mostly training gear. And this is the stand that came with it. I'm not going to use that either because it's so slick, like it's so glossy and slick that it kept slipping. So even a pose as basic as the one you're seeing right there, he didn't want to hold up, because between the boots, of course, there's no joints or anything in the boots. It's just a one-piece boot setup. So between the boots and the very slick display stand, he just kept slipping. I couldn't even get him. I at least want to have his knees slightly bent where it looks like he's like in the middle of dancing a little bit, and I'll keep playing around with that to get it to look right. So at this point, I just kind of want him to kind of look like he's dancing, boasting a little bit. He's really confident pre-fight. Again, that expression on that head sculpt doesn't really match it, but it's kind of all I got at this point. And that's fine. And so it's not a bad figure overall, but it's not super impressive either. I'm just glad they didn't botch it like they did with all the others in this line. And I wish that many people have said that they wish that the license for the Rocky film series would be taken away from Star Ace and given to someone that will do it better and take it more seriously. I think our best hope at this point is Sly Stallone Shop. And Sly Stallone Shop has announced all the figures they plan to do in the future. So they plan to do all the main villains as well as Mickey and different versions of Rocky. And so far, all we've gotten are a couple of versions of Rocky announced officially. But I think long term, that's going to be the solution. So in the meantime, however, this really is all we got. And then when Rocky comes, we'll have a boxing version of Rocky. So boxing versions of Rocky and Apollo, I think, is what a lot of us Rocky collectors really want the most. And Star Ace is really the only company that's given us that. And I'm just glad they didn't, again, butcher this one as just, like they did with Ivan Drago and Clubber Lang and that first Rocky they did. So, in summary, not great, but passable. And, I mean, I haven't checked to see what this guy's availability is. I think he's probably sold out at most retailers, but last time I looked on eBay, it's still pretty easy to get for around retail. Now for this deluxe set, it was just under, right around $300. And is this figure worth it? Well, you get a ton of accessories and you get this Fison type body, and so when you pick it up, it's actually got a lot of heft to it. So you feel the quality in it, but it's just simply the head sculpts are kind of lackluster. So again, the one that's on him, you can see it. You can see the Carl Weathers likeness, but it's not a perfect dead-on head sculpt. And then, of course, with this one, especially from a distance, it looks pretty good. And to me, this is the main reason to get the deluxe over the regular. But neither of these are spot on. Neither of these are what we should expect at this point for $300. And again, you can get the regular version that was like $200 or $250, I guess somewhere around $250, where you don't get the extra head sculpt, you don't get all the training gear, you just get the basic stars and stripes like you see here. So pretty underwhelming, but until Sly Stallone Shop or someone else gives us something better, it'll do. And based on what I've seen so far from the Rocky figure, I'm expecting similar results. Like, it doesn't look terrible. Thankfully, they didn't seem to have messed that one up too bad, but it's not super high quality either in terms of likeness, head sculpt, that kind of thing. So just know with Star Ace is kind of hit and miss. They've done some really great figures in the past, like the Steve McQueen Great Escape figure. I used to have that, and that's really good, but they've had some misses as well. So like I said, until we get something better. I mean, this is the only Apollo Creed that we have in 6 scale right now. So until something better comes along, until we have more options, this will have to do in the meantime. So again, not bad, but don't expect to be blown away either. So that's all I have on this one. Thank you all very much for tuning in.